Seeing is not the same as thinking. The thinking itself is seen to come and go. Who are you, the seer? It's quite fascinating, actually. You know, because it's bringing to our attention that there's a possibility that I'm not really here as anything. I'm not really here as an object that can be perceived.
What I will share with you today will cut through all of the conceptual baggage around this teaching, and it will bring you to the fact of your experience. It will help you understand beyond doubt how you are not the body, how you are not the mind. Of course, this is not a one-time thing. This practice requires your consistent looking. It requires your genuine interest and attention. But if you stick with this, and if you continue to keep it simple in the way that I will direct you in this video, the fact that you are not the body and mind will become so clear beyond the capacity of mental doubt. That is the beauty of this practice. It helps you grow in understanding of what you are prior to the experience of the person. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Sunny Sharma. Here on this channel, my intention with all of these videos is to help you dissolve mind identification and awaken to your formless self prior to appearance. And in today's video, we'll be doing exactly that. I'm going to be sharing with you a very powerful lesson that I ran recently for my School of Awakening program. So as you're watching this, I want you to be watchful of your constant interpretations that are arising, your constant judgments, your resistances, perhaps even your fears. Because in this practice, because we'll be cutting through the concepts, it will trigger your current belief system. It will challenge the beliefs you take most for granted, the beliefs you never seek to question. So as you're watching this video, when these things arise, I ask you to just not prematurely react, not prematurely give in to these mental impulses and judgments, but rather just stick with it. Lastly, before we get into the content, I just want to give you a heads up that I'm no longer posting videos on a consistent weekly schedule. I'll be posting sporadically. So if you want to stay notified when I do upload videos, just make sure to hit the notification bell. Now, finally, let's begin.
This is a very powerful pointer, yet again, very simple pointer, which brings to your attention that anything you are aware of, you cannot be. Anything that you know, anything that you see, and any object of your seeing, it appears, it comes and goes. Whereas you, the seer, in your direct, if you always check in with your direct experience, you, the seer, remain as you are. Whereas everything you are aware of, including that which we take ourselves to be, is a changing experience, a changing appearance. So it is a very powerful contemplation. It brings firstly to your attention, you are here. You know, regardless of what you feel you are currently here as, you know, of course, our conditioning is, I am here as a person inside of this world, which is outside of me. And I, the person, am living my experience through this outside world, which is changing. And here in this belief, I also take myself to be a changing experience. I identify as a changeful experience. I identify as the changeful body. I identify as the changeful states of mind, changeful belief systems, changeful personality. And I sort of put a packaging on this and I call that myself. So here the person is taken to be the subject of experience. And so this self-inquiry pointer about seer and seen, it is bringing to your attention that, okay, the only fact of your experience here and now that cannot be denied is you are here, you know, I am. So self-inquiry is inviting you to see, okay, as what am I here? Of course, it appears I'm here as a person talking, listening, living. But self-inquiry is asking us to challenge all of our assumptions. It's asking us to first clearly see the fact, I am here. And then see what exactly is here. As what am I here? So here we are invited to see that throughout all of our changing experience, all of the years, all of the phases of life, the good and the bad, everything has changed. Of course, our experience of the world. We are asked to look a step subtler, which is our experience of the mind, things we literally consider ourselves. So of course the changefulness of the body. Even when the body has changed, you still feel like there's a continuity to me. I am myself. I have not changed, but yes, my body has changed. My body has changed. So here we are invited to see, okay, that which I call myself, whose body I'm saying it is, what is that exactly? As what am I here? Who am I? Whose body is a possession? And then also subtler, right? The changeful states of mind, the things I identify with so firmly, my things I have learned, things that I believe, my thoughts, my feelings. As what am I here? Whose possessions am I speaking of? It's very clear to us that when it's brought up that all of these things, yes, I'm seeing to change, and they have always changed in my life. Whereas there has been a continuity to what I consider myself to be. I am always me. Yet, everything that I call myself, everything that I appear to be is changing. This is where the fire of self-discovery starts to really burn. It gets sparked. And this curiosity it starts to develop. And it's this deep curiosity for, okay, then exactly as what am I here? If everything that I'm calling me is a changeful experience being observed. I, the witness of that, me, that which is seemingly not changing, what exactly is that? So, of course, this challenges all of our assumptions, our entire paradigm, our entire belief system. Because, of course, here right now is just I'm this person on this call, talking, listening. So, there has to be some level of willingness to pause all of our belief systems. Nothing is necessarily being threatened. You don't have to be right or wrong, but it's just a genuine looking, a genuine seeing. So me being here is very, very obvious. I am here, regardless as what am I here, whether that is the body or the mind or some formless knowing, whatever I am here as, the fact is I am here. That's very, very simple. My knowing is very, very obvious. I know, I witness, I am aware. So knowing, being feel sort of synonymous, and they seem to be my primary experience. Now, I'm actually in the wrong, let me get to this one. So this sense of being, when we talk about the sense of I, don't try to make it very elusive or try to search for it. It is closer than close. It is just your sense of being. You have a sense, I am here. Every other thing, like I read, I speak, I hear, we attach this I to, right? There's a sense of me doing it, me being it, me feeling it, me thinking it. Just return to, just this natural sense of me, which is prior to the activity we attach onto it. So this is in question. The me, which is the witness of my experience. As what am I here?
Now, to this, I just wanted to add one point, which will help you better understand this. You may be saying, why is it that I can't be a changeful thing? Yes, so what? The person is changeful. Why can't I be a changeful thing? So for this, you have to resort to your direct experience of yourself. Of course, it appears, right? The illusion is obviously strong. That is why it is an illusion, because it is so real. It feels so real. So it appears that you are this changeful person. But if you return to observing the fact of your experience always, what you experience as I, what you experience as myself, that which is always at the heart of your experience is not a changeful thing. Everything that you observe to change is being seen by that which itself is not changing. I want you to pay close attention to this. If this is not making sense and if you can't quite grasp this, you have to start bringing your attention throughout the day, and especially during your sit-down practice, to your sense of self, what you experience as I, me, right? There is a me at the heart of your experience that you're always talking about, on behalf of whom you're always doing things, saying things, even watching this video. There's a sense, I am sitting here watching this video. So that I feels continuous. No matter how much your body changes, no matter how much everything else changes, the I appears to be continuous, changeless. There seems to be a changeless place from where I am perceiving all of this change. So that is why it's not about what you think about this. It's not about if the mind understands this. You just have to bring your attention to the fact of your experience always, which is acknowledging the sense of self, the sense of I, which is always changeless. And actually, that is how it has to be. For conscious experiencing to be, there must be a changeless observer which perceives change. The subject must be changeless. I want you to investigate this fact with your attention, because I remember when I first heard it, it didn't make sense to me either. And it is something that I was like, does that have to be true? The subject has to be changeless for experiencing to be. And so you have to sit with this. You have to investigate it with your attention. You can't investigate it through thinking and conceptualizing, because then you're looking at reality through your current belief systems already. You're looking at it through your ideas. That's the funny part about this, and why I emphasize again and again why it is so important for these practices that you resort only to your direct experience. When you keep returning to the fact, illusion starts to lose its sting. It starts to lose its sense of realness, and clarity, wisdom, insight is unlocked. It surfaces. By the way, if you feel like this video is helping you, and if you feel that this video has the power to help other people also, please hit the like button down below. It allows YouTube to spread this teaching to more people, and I would really appreciate it. Also, after you watch this video, if you would like to deepen your understanding of these principles, I'm offering a few free classes down below. Please take advantage of all the resources that I offer if this resonates with you.
So, right, usually in our day-to-day conditioned patterns of being, this sense of being is being attributed to thoughts. It is being attributed to feelings. It is being attributed to the body. Now here, in this pointer of seer and seen, you are the seer, of course, right? You are the seer. You are the witness. You are that which knows your experience. Even before any spiritual practice, you are the witness of your experience. So you're not becoming the witness. This teaching brings to the forefront of your acknowledgement that you are always the witness, regardless of if you do tons of spiritual practice or you're just a total newbie at this. So you are the seer. But now you are seeing all that is seen with a discerning eye. So no longer are you just seeing the changefulness of the world, your experiences, your circumstances, the people in your life, but you're putting even things you previously called your own self, things that you attributed this seeing to, this witnessing to, this beingness to, which is the experience of the body and the mind. So you see, we'll run a little guidance right now, but see how off the bat, automatically this sort of introspection, this sort of contemplation, you're already gaining the depth in being. Previously, like the state of being a person, it's like being like operating constantly as this, in a state of identification with this. Now automatically there starts to be a little bit of a gap, a distance, a space. There's depth to what you understand yourself to be just by even beginning this sort of contemplation. Now, every little pain that arises in the body doesn't have to be suffered. Every little discomfort arising in the mind doesn't have to be entertained. Every little impulse, reaction, emotion doesn't have to be identified with. Just by even beginning this sort of contemplation, you're seeing that you are prior to the changingness of that experience, which is a very, very big thing. And it has to be sort of like a constant sort of observation. Notice that at all times, regardless of how crazy your experience is, how hectic, the flavor of it, it passes always. But you, as the witness of it, you always are. So here is where we begin, this contemplation. As what am I here? As what do I witness? Am I here as a something? So this is what it brings to your attention. You start to see that everything you know, like we're going to do a guidance right now, but like even just tune into your experience right now. When you bring this question to yourself, as what am I here, right? I am here, that is a fact, but as what am I here? Where do you look for an answer to such a question? The sounds are going, the sights are here, the sensations are here, the thoughts may be there. The thoughts may be saying things about who you are here as and whatnot, but all of that is useless because all of that is just commentary, which is itself seen. That which is seen cannot tell you anything about the seer. They're just conditioned ideas. They are concepts. Concepts are about something. They are never the actual thing. So here the mind is rendered useless. So thoughts are here, yet they are seen. So they cannot really offer any valuable input. Maybe some feeling is here. Okay, it is seen and it goes just like the thoughts. The body, of course, appears to be stable, appears to be like a stable experience, but it is your observation. You've seen it go through so many things. It's constantly changing as well. There's no stability to that experience. You can't say that is I. You can say it's an intimate experience when compared in relation to your experience of the world. Of course, the body is more intimate. The mind is even more intimate. But you cannot say that is I. So you see, like little by little, you can put everything that you are aware of in the bucket of seen. Try to find yourself here. What am I here? The moment we start thinking about this, we've already lost the point. Because again, thoughts cannot render any usefulness here. Seeing is not the same as thinking. The thinking itself is seen to come and go. Who are you, the seer? It's quite fascinating, actually. You know, because it's bringing to our attention that there's a possibility that I'm not really here as anything. I'm not really here as an object that can be perceived. There's a great sense of wonder in this. Nothing to be accepted, but just to be observed and seen, sat with. And the contemplation has to be silent. It can't be wordful. Because again, words are just concepts that can only describe objects. Words can only describe these things. They cannot describe the seer, other than the word seer. So you are here right now as what are you here? So the best part about this, and the reason it is a meditation, is because you're not just being satisfied with the word awareness or witness. Again, a word is just an empty label. The mind may be satisfied. Okay, I'm none of this. I am awareness, but that's not going to do anything. The what this contemplation does is it places you in the seat of being as you are, free from associations. So in the moment of this contemplation, in the moment of seeing, every object I can point to and say, that's me, is not really me, because it is an object that I see, and it is a changeful experience, while I am not a changeful experience. So it sort of slides you into the recognition of simply being as you are. No association with what you see. Being, not being something or someone. Knowing but not as a something or someone. Otherwise, throughout these conversations or when you're even sitting down for meditation, it's like an unconscious assumption that I, this person, which is a changeful experience, am knowing, am witnessing. But here lies the discovery that that which I am associating as, identifying with, is observed as a changeful experience from the position of already being who I am, what I am, as a not object. So, not seeing as a person, not knowing as a thing, simply being knowing. And that's the mystery. And that's really the main like wonder to lose yourself in. This is self-inquiry. Being as we are, free from association with objects. All associations are paused. The personality is on pause. The person is not. And I would invite you right now, as you're hearing this, don't let so many doubts and fears and resistances and objections rush in. When they arise, that's okay. Maybe, like there's a level of like your assumptions and your belief systems needing to sort of fight for themselves. So these things may arise, but in this sort of contemplation, at least for the time being that we are sitting in this sort of contemplation, just take them to be the seen. Anything that is seen can be discarded as not myself, as in this moment, totally unimportant, not essential. So here, the doubts themselves, the objections to this themselves, everything just gets rendered useless in the clarity of your discernment. And you see, even this, I am not. So let's sit with this for a little few moments, just looking here and now as what am I here? See if you can sit with this clarity of not being here as a something. And if you feel like I'm here as a something, then pay attention to that. That which you are saying, I am too, for example, some sensations like of the head or whatever, is this also not an object of your seeing? Something you know, you observe, you see. The moment you see I'm not this even, and then you're just there as that which you are. In this moment, you refuse to impart your sense of reality, your sense of beingness to anything that you observe, including the sensations of the body, including the thoughts arising. Of course, it appears that I am here aware and awake as a person sitting, but challenge appearances. Don't take appearances to be reality. Appearances are very misleading. Many things appear to be something and then later they appear to be something else. So here we must be willing to challenge even our most unquestioned, taken for granted assumptions. So that which is awake, that which is aware, that which is witnessing. In this sort of contemplation, any thoughts that arise, just keep seeing like where the attention is going. And it's almost like that identification just begins again. And all that is needed is just in that moment, just acknowledge it is seen and let it go, let it be. Care for the seer, not the seen. Be curious about the seer, not the seen. Be interested in being the seer, not the seen. You are the seer effortlessly. So you're not fabricating anything or creating anything. You're just returning, you're acknowledging and simply being the bare essential You're not imparting beingness to thinking, feeling, doing. The thinking, feeling, doing is maybe happening, yet the be, simply be. Can you acknowledge the weight of that, the freedom of that? And how beingness is prior to the appearance of being as a person. That the experience of being a person can sort of be disengaged from and simply being. Being as what? That's the mystery that we have to allow to become, to for ourselves to become consumed with. So this is why the question, who am I, or as what am I aware, does not need to be followed by an answer, because any answer will be conceptual and therefore useless. You have to be the answer.